Once again, this is Prince Dykes here, the Royal Financial Investment Group, coming to you live, guys, live with another great video. Excuse me if my voice sounds a little scratchy. I got a little water with me, but my voice is a little hoarse a little bit. So hopefully you guys can hear me pretty good. If not, then I apologize for that, but I'm going to get through this the best way I can. A little stretch voice, don't stop the show, right? So as you guys can see from the title of the video, from what I have pulled up here, this video today is going to be about Sears, Sears holding company. As far as we all know, if you're just like me and just like everybody else, we think of Sears and we think of the real estate industry. So, excuse me, I mean the retail industry. It's what we all think about. When we go to the mall, maybe appliances, clothing, or whatever, we think about the retail aspect. And as we know, brick and mortar retails haven't been doing that great, right? So with that being said, a lot of retail, with the retail industry itself hasn't been doing that well. So of course, Sears stock hasn't been doing that well either. But we know the greatest opportunities come when companies are having that downside or when companies experiencing hard times. So as you can see what I have put up here on Seeking Alpha, I have an article written by Mr. Eric Moore. A pretty great article. I read through it a few times, and I really admire the work and the effort that he put into the research and his thesis of putting his article title, Sears Holding a Once-in-a-Lifetime Investment Opportunity. As you read over this article, he made one, let me pull out a disclaimer there. I just want to tell you, I'm just not recommending anything to anybody as far as a stock to buy. As you guys already know on this channel, is for education and entertainment purposes only. So I'm just giving you guys my opinion of what I see and stuff like that. And also, I want to throw in a disclaimer: I'm not a bankrupt expert, or I have an extensive background in it and stuff like that as well. That's why I look at it and I just have to use my own judgment and to kind of make my own decision, you would say, or solution, you would say, or end result of what I think of the actual position of Sears. First thing is, Sears itself, we think of retail. I don't know why I keep saying real estate. Maybe you understand later on in the video. But one of the big things that we think of Sears, we think of retail. First time I saw this article, Mr. Moore was like, "Hey, read this article. Let me know what you think." And I saw it say the word Sears. I'm like, wow, I wouldn't go long on Sears, but hey, I give it a try. I look into it because as we know, the times have changed. As far as the way we do retail, the way people shop, the way we move around as human beings have changed. There once was a time where we used to get up and get in our car and go rent movies and DVDs from places called Blockbuster. Now we just sit back and click on Hulu, Netflix, Vudu, all the other companies that are out there. And it's the same thing with not real estate, but I keep saying that. Retail, people still go to the malls and stuff, but we don't go as much as we usually would go because we have online as far as Amazon and all these other retailers that are out there that you can buy a lot of things from. So, and also how that, I won't say shifts the situation, but how it kind of gives them a competitive advantage because, actually an affiliated marketing website has a significant leg up on a industry, on a brick and mortar retail store. For prime example, Amazon, how many people that that actually work for Amazon or that actually work for Netflix? They employ like a couple hundred people I know for Netflix. So with that being said, they have a lower overhead because everything is probably online. They have a website or whatever. But um, a retail store has a lot of stores worldwide, which increases overhead. You have lights, water, gas, employees. You have to furnish those stores. You have to need inventories. Trucks have to drive to them, fly, whatever, right? So it's a pretty huge overhead by having a brick and mortar compared to where you have something online, to where they probably even have the product in inventory. They probably just a third party that ships products or whatever. But that's for another conversation. But one of the things that Mr. Moore made me look into with this article is that Sears is a holding company, right? A holding company holds things, as far as I know, as far as Sears, it has real estate. As For prime example, all these stores it has across the world. I'm just giving you guys a skim of the iceberg, I would say. I'm just looking at it from the surface, just the surface, skimming the surface of it. A real estate, not a real estate, but a retail store has a lot of real estate. For prime example, you drive to any mall nowadays, or it's pretty common to see a Sears. But what if Sears goes bankrupt? What happened to those stores, right? Are those Could those stores be sold? And that's one of the key points that Mr. Moore is pointing out in this article from Seeking Alpha. That one of the key pieces that, hey, you're overlooking the insurance. It's a holding company where it just sells insurance, and it's a holding company as far as how much real estate that it has on hand. And he's also pointing out about the gap, the way that it's reported on financial reports. Because when you report your real estate on financial reports, you don't report the actual market value of today. It goes off of historics of when you purchased it. So you're pointing out some key things of, hey, some of this land was brought back in the 50s and 60s. They've appreciated a lot in value, but they're not being shown on balance sheets and stuff like that. So when I look at this company right now, it's trading for about $14. And in the article here, he has 16.27, but it has slipped down to $14. My personal opinion is that I think that Sears will slip down into the single digits. And the reason why people will say, well, why would you think that or whatever, since it has so much real estate that gives it so much value. One thing I noticed, and just my opinion, is that um, people don't buy and trade stocks off of true value. People don't seek value. Some do, but majority of them don't. A lot of people go off of the news. They go off of their feeling, what someone told them and stuff like that. So when you look at the surface of it, before you probably clicked on this video and before I looked into this, I thought of Sears as being a regular retail industry. And it would be something that I would have never thought of, like, hey, let me peel back the layers of the onion inside of it. So that's why I think that it would probably trade down if I had to give my personal opinion on it. Do I see it as something that I would purchase, particularly buy? Now, one thing I was looking at before I jump into that, but one thing I was looking at on the recent reports or whatever, it may go bankrupt, but then again, it may not. I'm seeing reports of it taking out loans and trying to, seems like it's trying to revamp the company and keep the company alive. It doesn't seem like it will slip down into bankruptcy and turn into a REIT, which would be a great thing because what's going to happen to all those stores around the world, all that real estate, parking lots or whatever, that could actually be more worth dead than it is alive. It doesn't have to keep an inventory, so it can actually rent out those stores and become very profitable. The real estate is worth in the billions, so I can see where the intrinsic value or the true value of Sears could be held with its insurance and its real estate, just from just skimming the surface of it. But I know that a lot of people will not look into that, and most people will short the stock, and most people will sell it if they probably hold it. Is my personal opinion, and that's why I think it would trade the stock down even further into the single digits. Now, if it would be something I would buy and hold, well, first of all, it doesn't pay a dividend, and it would be something I would keep a close eye on. It'd be something I would look at, but it's not something I'm looking at right now that I'm completely sold on. It's a couple more things I have to do. I have to do more individual research, and I would like to see how, I watch a close eye on to see how things develop over the near and far future. One of the things is like, hey, what if it goes bankrupt? When it goes bankrupt, what happened to all those buildings? Look at the value of all those buildings. It could turn into a REIT. And, Mr. Moore put some great articles in, great links in here of previous situations that happened with other companies that turned into REITs that, sophisticated real estate investors came along and purchased into these companies because they saw the real estate value. They understood gap, and they understood that the real estate value of the companies was actually worth more than the company was actually worth. So he put some great stuff. You're more than welcome. I'm going to drop the link here on the description box so you can check out the article. And you guys can let me know what you think. What do you guys think? This would be something that you would look into. Would this be something that you would buy? For me, in particular, it would be something that I would probably wait till it gets down to the single digits. You have a little sip of water here. My throat is a little dry. I probably wait till it gets down to the single digits, and once it gets down to the single digits, I possibly look into maybe making a little small long-term investment. Right now, I look at it a little risky because I don't have an extensive history on bankruptcy and how things go, but I look at it as a possible long-term position or whatever possibly. So we got to understand that the market right now. We have to understand the market overall, the real estate industry, not the real estate. I don't know why I keep saying that for the 15,000th time, but the retail industry overall. How's it performing? And I think that people that buy and sell the stocks from even probably from the sophisticated people that they're going to look at this and they're going to look at Sears and think of Sears as a retail. They're not going to look at the intrinsic value, is my personal opinion. Only a select few, which could make this very, very profitable in the future. Something I would keep a close eye on. I understand where Mr. Moore is coming from with this great article that he put out. But, guys, look at it. Tell me what you guys think. And leave your opinions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Until the next video, you guys already know what to do. Be safe. I'm out.